The old lady thought she was being taken to a nursing home. When she stepped out, she couldn't hold back her tears. Maria Ivanovna is an elderly woman who lives alone in her old apartment. In recent days, she has been acutely aware of her body's weakness. Every morning when she wakes up, her body aches, her steps become slower, and taking care of herself becomes increasingly difficult, especially when she has to face the small tasks in daily life like cleaning the house or cooking. She realizes that she no longer has the strength to do everything as she used to. For the past few months, Maria has been trying to hide her signs of weakness. She didn't want to make her children worry, and even less to depend on them. But no matter how hard she tried, her children, who always cared and kept an eye on her condition, noticed the significant changes. Although they didn't say it directly, their worried looks said it all. So one day, when Maria Ivanovna was sitting in her room, she overheard a conversation between her children. They were discussing putting her in a nursing home, a place they believed would take better care of her when she could no longer look after herself. These words made Maria feel sad and scared. She didn't want to give up her independent life, didn't want to leave her family and step into a completely different life where she would just be a part of the invisible crowd. But deep down, she knew her children were right, because her health truly could not be maintained as before. Conflicting emotions intertwined within Maria. She didn't want to hear it, but a part of her also understood that it might be time to face the truth, no matter how difficult it was. That morning, Maria Ivanovna woke up and felt that something was unusual. Her daughter had come earlier than usual and told her to get ready to go out. Mrs. Maria didn't know the reason, but still complied, because her daughter was always worried about her. However, she sensed that something was wrong. The heavy silence in the car made her even more anxious. The daughter and the grandchildren didn't say anything clear about where they were going, just told her to not worry. Their evasive glances and forced smiles only made her feel more uncomfortable. The closer she got to her destination, the more uneasy Maria felt. The familiar streets and scenery had gradually changed, no longer the places she used to stroll. When the car turned into a deserted road, she began to feel scared. Probably a nursing home, she thought. There, she would become an anonymous person, forgotten in the monotony of the cold gray walls. Those thoughts flashed through her mind, and anxiety surged. She didn't want to become a burden, didn't want to be shunned, but she couldn't do anything else but believe in what her children had said. When the car stopped, Maria Ivanovna looked up and saw a large, simple building with tall windows and dim gray walls. The building seemed closed off and cold, making her feel as if she were stepping into a dark phase of her life. At this moment, she couldn't control the chaotic emotions within her. Her heart tightened at the thought that this would be the place where she would spend her final days, devoid of love, leaving only loneliness and coldness. When her daughter opened the car door and helped her out, Mrs. Maria walked away silently. Each of her steps was heavy, as if each step was a farewell to her old life. However, as she stepped through the large door, something completely unexpected happened. Instead of a soulless nursing home, Mrs. Maria Ivanovna saw a completely different space. A cozy house with pristine white walls and a lush green garden surrounding it. The scenery is bright and lively, with blooming flowers and the grandmother's grandchildren running and playing joyfully on the lawn. The laughter of the grandchildren echoed in the air, bringing a sense of happiness and life. Maria stood frozen, unable to believe her eyes. "What is this?" she exclaimed, her heart filled with astonishment. Her daughter, seeing the confusion and surprise on her mother's face, stepped closer and hugged her. "Mom, this is your new home. I decided that you will live with us, close to us, and never have to feel lonely again." Her daughter's words were gentle and full of love, but they still didn't immediately reach Maria's heart. She still stood there, astonished, unable to believe that her children had prepared such a warm and loving place for her. Maria couldn't hold back her emotions. Tears unexpectedly streamed down her cheeks. Everything she had once feared suddenly vanished, replaced by warmth, the care of her family, and a new life filled with love. Maria Ivanovna stood frozen, unable to believe what was happening before her eyes. The entire scene, the warmth of the house, the gentle light, and the laughter of the grandchildren left her so bewildered that she couldn't utter a word. A feeling of surprise and joy overwhelmed her. She couldn't understand why everything had turned out this way. She had imagined that she would have to face the cold walls of a nursing home, but now she finds herself in a house filled with life and love. A part of her felt immensely happy, but the other part was confused, not knowing how to react to this sudden change. She looked at the grandchildren playing in the garden, laughing and joking carefree and happily. With each step into the new house, she felt the warmth and care that her family had for her. The feeling of loneliness and fear that she had before gradually gave way to boundless love from her children and grandchildren. Maria Ivanovna began to understand that what she thought was the end was actually a new beginning, a new chapter in her life where she was loved, cared for, and became an important person in the family. Her heart gradually became less tense, and negative thoughts no longer dominated her mind. Instead of feeling like a burden, she realized that she could still play an important role in the family, still feel her own necessity and value. The worries about old age, about becoming useless and being forgotten, have gradually been replaced by joy and peace of mind. She no longer feels left behind, but rather feels that, at any stage of life, she is still an indispensable part of this family. That creates a profound shift in Maria Ivanovna's thinking. She realized that old age is not the end of a life, but an opportunity to experience new joys and love. Being cared for, loved, and feeling the importance of herself made her feel that she was living life to the fullest. Those mixed emotions made her unable to hold back her tears, not out of regret or sadness, but out of happiness when she realized that she was not alone. Her children and grandchildren have brought her a new belief in life, that family love will always be the most important thing, overcoming all the difficulties and challenges of aging. Mrs. Maria Ivanovna couldn't contain her emotions as she stood in the new house, filled with love. Tears of happiness streamed down her cheeks, like a clear stream washing away all previous worries and fears. Those tears were not just an expression of joy, but also a blend of surprise, gratitude, and profound reassurance. She no longer has to fear old age, no longer feels lonely, and no longer has to face moments of silence and coldness. All she feels at this moment is the love and care of her family. Immediately, her grandchildren joyfully ran over, bringing with them small, meaningful gifts. They gave her handmade bracelets, hand-drawn pictures, and whimsical toys. But what mattered most were the songs and poems that her grandchildren sang to her. Their innocent voices, full of purity and joy, made Maria Ivanovna feel her heart warmer than ever. This is the moment she had been waiting for her entire life, a moment to clearly feel the boundless love from her children and grandchildren. Maria Ivanovna gradually realized a profound truth. Old age is not the end of life. On the contrary, it is a new phase, a continuation of meaningful days, sweet moments, and especially the unwavering love and care from family. She understood that the nursing home, which she had once feared, was not her path. Life is not a stopover, but a continuous journey, where she can still feel her necessity and importance in the lives of her loved ones. When Maria Ivanovna looked at her children and grandchildren, her heart was filled with happiness. The story ends with her emotional words, "I never thought I would be this happy." She felt the true meaning of life when she was close to her loved ones. She no longer fears old age. because she knows that love and care will always be the source of strength to help her overcome everything. And in that moment, Maria Ivanovna understood that old age, although it may come with fears, opens new chapters of life with precious values that only family can bring. Maria Ivanovna's story is not just a journey through old age, but also a poignant reminder of the power of family love. This is an emotional story that makes each of us reflect on the relationships between generations, on the value of care and attention towards our loved ones. The path that Mrs. Maria Ivanovna walks, a path enveloped by love, care, and connection, is a symbol of new life. Although age may come, family love will always be the solid foundation that helps us overcome all challenges. When Mrs. Maria Ivanovna realized that she was not only loved, but also valued in the eyes of her children and grandchildren, her heart became light and filled with happiness. Her new home was not just a place to live, but a manifestation of life's rebirth, where all fears of aging were replaced by unconditional love. The story not only conveys a powerful message about the care and love of family, but also serves as a reminder that old age is not an end, but a continuation, full of hope and meaning. What she went through is a typical example of how love and care can enrich the later years of life. This is a wonderful story about love, care, and gratitude, making it impossible for viewers to look away. Through this story, we learn that each day of life is a gift, and family love is what truly makes life complete, no matter what age you are. Have you ever wondered if old age is the time for us to reconnect with our loved ones? Do we really recognize the value of family love as we enter the twilight years of our lives? The story of Maria Ivanovna is not only a testament to that, but also a reminder of the power of familial bonds, of how family can bring us hope and comfort when facing old age. It will make you reflect on the true meaning of love and family in life. If you feel that this story has touched your heart, don't forget to share it with your friends and family. Let everyone together feel the message of love, care, and nurturing that family brings. We can create a large community where family love and connection are always spread, warming each person's heart throughout life's journey.